Welcome, everyone, to History 120, the first half of United States history for the fall semester of 2022. My name is Dr. David Zimring, and I will be your guide on this crazy journey through the first half of United States history. We're going to be covering so many exciting events this semester, starting from the first contact between Native Americans, European explorers, and African slaves, all the way down to the end of the Civil War. So we are going to be seeing the expected, the improbable, and yes, even the seemingly impossible happen time and time again in the first half of United States history. And I am just thrilled that you've decided to join this class for this semester, because in this class you will be learning the skills that will be needed to understand so much about what is going on in the world today. I mean, even now, in so many different states, there are so many debates and arguments about what to teach kids and young adults when it comes to American history. So it is certainly quite relevant to have the skills necessary to make sense of all of that. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm originally from Los Angeles. I went to college at UC Davis, so kind of a product of both SoCal and NorCal. I spent a decade on the East Coast doing my graduate work in Virginia and Maryland. But then 7 years ago, my family was able to move back here to NorCal, and we have called it home ever since. So my wife is actually an OBGYN. She works over at Kaiser. And I always like to say that she may be the doctor of the family, but in fact, she's a physician, whereas I'm the doctor, because that's where a PhD comes from. I have a 9-year-old daughter starting the 5th grade. This just grow up so fast. And I have a 7-year-old son who's actually deaf. And so for the last 7 years, I have been learning sign language, ASL. So if anyone is interested in maybe learning a little ASL, I can certainly teach you a little bit. So just another skill that I've picked up in just all this craziness of life. When I'm not teaching and enjoying history, I love to sit back, read a good book, or stream movies on Netflix or Hulu, go on a nice bike ride, or get an exciting game of chess. So yes, at the end of the semester, if anyone would like to challenge me to a game of chess, I'd be more than happy to do that. And then finally, I'm sure some of you have noticed in the background there, you might be wondering, why does Dr. Zimring have what looks like a large rifle hanging on the back wall of his office here? Well, there's a great story to that, because I have been a Civil War enthusiast since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And that was actually my main area of focus when I was doing my graduate work in Virginia. When I was in college, actually over 20 years ago, I had the opportunity to be a student tour guide at Gettysburg National Park. And while I was there, I actually joined a Civil War reenactment group. And so I was able to get a full Union uniform, along with what you see behind me, a genuine replica of an 1861 Springfield .58 caliber musket. And for those who, again, might be wondering, have you ever actually used that thing? The answer is yes. So when I was part of my reenactment group, I had my uniform, and we would all line up and of course, reenact parts of the Battle of Gettysburg. And I have fired that weapon exactly once. Just once. But for the rest of the time, it has just been for demonstrations, as well as just showing anyone who comes into my office, this is the guy who is obsessed with the Civil War. So those are just a few things that I'd like you to know about me, and you will learn far more once we begin our class on August 22nd. And so I look forward to seeing everyone there, and we are going to have a wonderful semester.